Hey guys, you ready to get started? So, oh, that was quick. You guys are on cue today. I love it. So, take just a moment while we are queuing up and put all your listings in the website here, if you haven't done so already. We have quite a few in already. So, we're going to try to go through those pretty quickly when the time comes. So, as you guys know, we always start off with one of my favorite segments. And I brought this for my sweet, sweet Bobby today. So I found it on Amazon. Have you ever gone into an Amazon hole? Yeah, where you're just clicking on stuff and you're like, what shows up next? I don't know. And this was suggested for me. It was a yodeling pickle. A yodeling pickle. So I said, what is more perfect for Bobby than the yodeling pickle? So I'm going to bring it. Actually, I'm going to leave it up here. If anybody needs a yodeling pickle, it'll always be up here. Okay? We're going to use it for Bobby's segment. So without further ado. Yes. Good morning.
It is a pickle. Good morning. Where's Mark? Do you know today is Mark's birthday?
No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah, it's always on 9/11. So when Mark comes, we need to scream or something.
Only if you say so.
And he hates to be notarized on his birthday. He hates,
he loves it.
he doesn't like it on his birthday.
Okay.
He doesn't like to be notarized. Let's talk about contracts, signatures, names, title. So you have a contract and there is a name in the file. Then you ask for proof of funds. Proof of funds coming and it's some guy that's nowhere on the contract. But they said, yeah, but that's the guy we're assigning it to. Okay. How does that work? So is your proof of funds have any value if the contract doesn't have the guy's name on it that's providing the proof of funds? What do you think? I don't think so. I think we need at least an amendment to the contract adding him on. What do you think? Where's our other attorney since? Where's Ryan?
You did an upgrade today.
Whoa! What do you think, Mary Frances?
I think if it falls through your contract, who do you go to? Because you never signed, the third party didn't sign that contract, so you can't sue them for specific performance. If they're not somewhere signing agreeing they're doing that.
So that's not really a proof of funds.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay, stay up here.
Stay up.
It's your my face. I missed you. So, ready?
Yeah.
So what happens if you have a contract that's a trust, and the person that's going to sign the contract signs saying they're the somebody for the trust, or somebody
Possibly. What we're gonna ask for depend on whether they could sell or they could buy, because the trust may not give them the power to sell that house or to buy another house.
exactly. So you verify that those people have the right to buy, the authorization to buy, and the money. I think those
And then you call 383-2903. Because Rudy Title, we can answer all those questions for you.
Yeah, this has been something that's come up quite a bit in the last 2 weeks. Anybody here had that with the different names and the trust and had to, there was this closing that got slowed up at the table. Let's think about that up front when you start getting trusts, contracts in the name of trust. Okay? I'm through with you for now. Okay? I'm pretty through with my pickle. It wasn't
You want to go back to Amazon? Yeah. And you know, just kind of dovetailing with what Bobby said, situation, that's not always the case, because usually the wholesaler, or the middleman, sometimes I call them, they're the ones who have already ponied up the earnest money, because they know that they have to do that pretty quickly with relationship. That's going to be the C person. So we so you can go back and look at that assignment class if you want to. Good. So, see some bright faces around. Why don't you take it away?
Your name, raise your hand. Sorry to call you out, but we
Raise
just
it
want
high,
everybody to
put
be
the
able.
permission check over.
And we also have, he's not Steve Fry. He's going to be joining the East office, and we also have Paul Bullington, who has joined us from WeHo. Joining us at WeHo. And Lindsley from Hillsborough Village as well. So welcome our new agents. We have 2 new agents that have also signed on, but I don't see them here today. We have Kara Payne, who's joined at East, and Lizzie Zuckerman, who's joined at Hillsborough. Say what your plans are for the weekend, how you're going to learn how to juggle in an hour. And we'll be back in a minute. Thanks.
Chris Springsteen is down in the hub many times when Corey isn't down there. So if you have any needs, don't forget to ask for Chris as well down there. So take it away, Corey.
Hi.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm not the hub anymore. You all know that. But has everyone met Chris? Chris Springsteen, our new hub person? Chris was he is still training, so I spared him having to give a presentation for the first time without seeing me do it first. So this is me trying to do it well, not mess up, so he'll know how to do them moving forward. So despite if I mess up, just clap anyway, so he feels like, yeah, I got this. So today, I want to talk to you. Later on, some people are going to come up and talk about a new development that Village has, and I want to show you guys how you can access those toolkits. Lots of people ask all the time, like, hey, where can I find the Village logo files? I have no idea, or I need to access some social media banners, or if you log into Tribus and you scroll down, if you have not logged in, Chris can help you. Please see him in the hub, and he'll also give you a walkthrough. It'll be awesome. But we have links for Google Drive and Dropbox. You can click on either one of these, and it's going to take you to toolkits, and you can download, it's this file here, or folder, Agent Toolkits. There's all sorts of developments that are in there. As you can see, this is what it looks like in Google Drive. That's what it looks like in Dropbox. And there's going to be a new one that's added today. So we just wanted to give you a heads up. When they talk about it, this is how you can access it, and this is how you can access a whole bunch of files if you may need. Any questions? No, none at all. Fantastic. Okay, well, thank you guys.
Comprehensive explanation. You didn't get a single question. Hey, don't forget, because I get this question a lot, where can I go to get information on new developments? And that's one of the things that Corey mentioned is there for you in Tribus. So you can go on there and find out information about all of those new developments that we have early access to here in the Village. So don't forget that, okay? So let's do some new listings. So Samantha, where are you in the room? Number 1, I'm coming to you, okay? Looks like, oh, $289. That's not bad. I can't even afford that.
So it's a beautiful condo over at Green Hills. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, on the first floor, so super easy access. It's in a really, the community is really pretty private. It's got these beautiful gardens in the back. We have new hardwoods in the bedrooms. So $289.5. Let me know if you're interested.
Awesome, great. And Nick, Where are you? Oh, okay, I'm coming over. I need some theme music while I'm around you guys. So Nick, you got 2, right? 3, all right.
So I've got 1104A Haysboro, and it is up in Inglewood, really close to Ellington Parkway, so easy access there. It's hardwoods throughout, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, all on one level. It was built in 2013. We are going live this afternoon with an open house on Sunday. That was $389. And then I've got 1118 Stockwell. We are, it's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's in Cleveland Park. And we're staging that tomorrow and photographing on Thursday. So live as soon as we get pictures back on that, 4:15 and 9:10 Sharp. These are new constructions right on Sharp Avenue. They're, again, all one floor. The finishes in these are really fantastic. You can walk to Pharmacy Burger and Los Tacos from there. And they're going live probably in a week or so at 3:39.
God, that's awesome. That's right over there in that cool part now. Sorry about the static, guys. Hey, what about Holland House? Is that done over there? What is it? Lyra. Has anybody been to Lyra?
Yeah.
Good? All right, good deal. As you can tell, I'm totally not cool, but I will go over there and try it. But I just don't want to be the first to go. And Sam, look at your brother Nick led into you. How about this? So you've got how many up there? 2. All right.
This microphone makes me nervous. So I have 3537 Seneca Forest in the Priest Lake area of Nashville. This is a townhome. It's a 2-unit townhome, and it's a brick front. We're going to be just below 145 or 141, 142-ish. We had photos taken yesterday, but this is a spacious, almost 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and we should be hitting the market on Thursday. Let me know if you need to see photos or would like to get in before then. Also, a couple weeks out in Murfreesboro is 4812 Nina Marie. This is a beautiful cul-de-sac home with a park-like setting backyard. Actually, both of those have pretty amazing backyards. 4 bedrooms. This is a big house. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. Has a huge bonus area upstairs. Fireplace, crown molding, all the fun stuff. This really is a great home. It was remodeled about 2.5 years ago, and they did an amazing job. And it'll be right around 245.
All right. So with these 2, who staged these guys?
I wonder.
You did. All right. So for you guys that don't know, Sam does his own staging, and he is also available for consultation for a fee, right? Yeah. Well, maybe a little bit. First party's on him, but the rest of them you got to pay for. Okay. By the way, we are. You might have noticed that there's a little bit of extra static that we normally don't have. We usually have this little guy going down here, and that's the speaker. But we have upgraded. We are putting on airs here at Village, and we are going live over the house sound. So we're going to be working out the kinks with that static. So I ask for you just a little bit of patience while we deal with that today, and we're going to try to get the antenna turned up for the next week's meeting. Okay? So Brian Carden, what about castles and moats? What have you got for us today?
How much more fun can I make insurance? Okay. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you tried to get something done and they said no? They said no way. They said no way in blank. This happens a lot. And these are some of the things that I'm able to do through relationships with multiple underwriters with multiple companies. How many of you are used to seeing properties like this? Everybody in the room, raise your hands. Okay, that's an underwriter's nightmare. Because they see that and they're like, we're not going to insure that, are we? But, get on the phone with the realtor. This is one of Nick's listings. And her realtor, home gutted to the studs. Taken all the way back. New roof, exterior changed to hardboard. Rated home as 2018 build. So if you have folks that are flipping and you are representing them, this is important as a buying feature, especially if I get the buyer. Because when I present this to an underwriter and they know that everything in there is absolutely 100% brand new except for the foundation, a lot of my companies will allow me to write that as a 2018 build. That's about a 40% discount off of the rates other folks are showing. Next one. This is a house that I had insured as a regular homeowner's. Same scenario as before. This is one of Emily's. Come in here and I write this as a landlord policy, and if you see right down here, if you can read this, this company surcharges because it was built prior to 1930. It's an underwriting thing. And there's an extra $573 on top of that. That's standard with a lot of these companies. This is a landlord. I use these companies for short-term rental, flips, and everything else. So, for our conversation and pictures justifying change, I adjusted the year built by 15 years to offset that additional charge. It's gone. $575 savings just by knowing how to present things to the right underwriter. Underwriters are great if you know how to work with them. If you don't, they can be your worst nightmare. Okay, the motor vehicle report, unsafe operation, child endangerment was on their driving record. Does that concern everybody in the room when I call you and I say, do you know about this? And of course they didn't. So I had the realtor call the motor vehicle report. He calls me back and says, Brian, she rolled through a stop sign. That was it. I'm thinking, do you have a child in the back of your car? Are you racing through a school zone? What? So, with that report, we were able to go back in, failure to stop. Took care of that. She still got charged for this, but that was a cancellation. There's stuff on your driving record. A lot of people, when I talk to you, go, I had no clue about that. I didn't even know that was there. How did that get there? And then we have number 4. This one's a sweet one. This is a pit bull. As you all know, American Staffordshire. Generally, insurance companies frown on aggressive breeds. But there are some companies that are open-minded enough to say, if you give us a disposition letter from the vet, from the kennel, we would be willing to write this account. Some companies, no. I had one yesterday, I begged them because their pricing was better, they wouldn't let me do it. But I have some that will. So, with this animal, sweet little pit bull, I wrote the homeowners, no issues, no problems. Dog bites are the #1 reason for lawsuits in homeowners policies, just so you know. And I've already seen 2 attorneys' letters cross my desk where people had bought aggressive breeds and I was unaware of it. So when you run into situations like that, get to know me a little bit, ask me questions. Hey, here's what I've got. Let me help you with what you need to do to get your client to the closing table with the least amount of hassle so I can make y'all look like rock stars. Have a great week.
Brian, I got a question for you. So, of course, our agents don't have a duty to communicate to you on behalf of the client. That's between you and the client on how to set up that policy, what they disclose to you. But how does it play out? They're insured by you and they didn't disclose that to you.
Well, in that situation, they did not disclose to me that they had a husky.
Okay.
And they didn't think to call. So, therefore, as Bobby says on multiple occasions, it was not a material fact until I got the letter from the attorney.
Yeah.
Now, what happened with this unfortunate situation, since the dog bit its sitter, the dog bit its sitter.
Oh, wow.
And the woman was canceled immediately by the insurance company, had no recourse, and she's sitting on the island of misfit toys for 5 years. She's in a substandard class for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
What is a non-aggressive dog?
A dachshund.
Bobby's about to make a case for her. I'll be right back.
I have some mean little shits.
Shih Tzus. Shih Tzus. Yeah.
Husky
Yeah.
doesn't have any aggressive tendencies whatsoever.
Right.
And she says, only when they give them treats.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
like, was that what the center was doing? And she went, yes.
Holy cow. Well, Vaughn and I are the same way. If you give us treats, we're going to get rid of him about it. All right. Yeah, that's right. How do you think that wrist injury happened? My God. Okay, so a couple of announcements. Number one, we heard that it's Mark's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mark, wherever you are. There he is. Right there. So I'm going to need your help because Mark said he did not want to be recognized, so I'm going to be looking for some employment after today. So, yeah, that's right. So I need you guys to help find me a new job. Yeah, that's right. Last day. Also, we have Anna Altic somewhere in the back. Where are you, Anna? So everybody turn around and look at Anna because she loves attention. So Anna has just taken a position to join our broker team, and she's going to be doing so as the lead manager. How many people remember when Christy Hairston used to work here, and she was working all of the leads that came into Village? Yeah, quite a few. I know Anna does because she was our #1 lead converter in the company. What was your conversion rate, Anna? Do you remember?
I really don't. I'll just say, I think 1 year I got 68%.
Oh, yeah, that's high. I think anybody would love a conversion rate like that.
Converted to
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So we are going to get more aggressive about the leads that are coming into Village and pushing those out to you guys that are interested in those leads. Now, of course, that's going to be part of the Volt program. So if you're not Volt trained, you can get with Anna or get with Vaughn, and they will get you plugged into that Volt program so that you can start receiving those leads. You might want to do that early because we're going to get pretty aggressive about this, like I said, and you don't want to be behind the 8 ball when those leads start coming in. So, Marcus Jacob here?
He's not here, but I'll lead into it.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, as always, when the king wants the mic, here he is.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, I have a guest who's going to be here for a V-Talk after this meeting, and his name is Jake Weiss. He's got a company called Playing by Air. And what do you think that means? It means Vaude Village Juggling. So he's going to be down in the lobby at 10:15, 10:30, and we're going to do some juggling session and maybe a little talk about why we're going to be entertaining our nonprofit guests at our party. We've shifted the party. We're not going to have the Vaude Village party on October 4th. We're going to move it to a precursor to our party on December 6th. Is it 6th?
December 6th.
December 6th. That's our village holiday party, so we're going to lead in with about an hour celebration with our nonprofits, and then we'll just get the party amongst ourselves. And we'll have lots of juggling balls all through the night to play. But Jake has juggled at the White House, Madison Square. He's got a great troupe, but he also has a social enterprise, and he uses his juggling and teaching to help inspire corporations and nonprofits to be the best that they can be. So he's a lot of fun. I've seen him. He's a much better juggler than I am, and he's a good teacher, so he'll teach us all how to juggle. So come on down to the lobby afterwards. I hope that at least 25 or 30 of you come down. I've already taught, I think, 25 people just in passing, and it's pretty fun to see some development. I like the extended horizon because we're not learning fast enough, so it gives us a couple more months for all of you to be part of the act. Because as you know, at Vaude Village, when we do have that celebration, you guys are going to be the act. And Jacob put together something called Juggleville for Vanderbilt University, and he put together acts with very professional jugglers mixed with people who are novices, and it was always very entertaining. So get yourselves ready. See you down there.
All right. The juggling continues, right? We're all going to get good at this. Heck, I've even learned how to juggle a little bit, and I've earned my juggling balls. So how many people in the room have done your video or otherwise shown Mark or any of the team and earned your juggling balls? There's a few. Oh, come on. I know there's more than that. So many of those, yeah. Ashley did, that's for sure. I did. Yeah, so all you have to do is get 6 throws, right, Mark? Yeah, 6 throws. And on Facebook exclusive, there is a form that you can complete and upload your video, okay? And we're going to have a compilation video of everybody juggling based on the parts of all those videos that you guys submit. And that's going to be part of our celebration too. So make sure you get those videos in so that you can be front and center when we do that compilation video. So next up we have a little development news, and the first one is going to be Danielle, Shante, and Robbie. Come on down, right there in a row. Look at that. Come on down. I hear you guys have an exciting development to talk to us about. Robbie, didn't you already preview this one on the east side?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. You passed it around. Whoever wants to talk.
So we are super excited to bring you this short-term rental development that's going on. Shante is going to talk a little bit more about the specifics of the building, but I wanted to speak to the area that it's in. So you'll see some renderings, obviously. If you want to look up the exact address, it's 1506 Church Street. So Church Street, if you haven't driven down there, obviously it's a really lively portion of Nashville. There's so much growth potential on that corridor there as well. If you look at some of the other main corridors, Charlotte Pike, obviously the Broadway area, and down 21st. This has some really cool historic buildings that could be changed, other things that could be kind of torn down and built up. And that's going to be the case with this build. It's going to be a brand new build, concrete, on the corner of 15th and Church and McMillan. So Lee Millette is the developer for this project, and Village has been given the opportunity to kind of promote this and get the word out, and we're so excited for you to learn more, both about just this area and the development itself. We are kind of terming this Central City. We've designated that name. You gotta have a name for development in an area, so that's what we're giving this one. And it really is such a good gateway between downtown. You're 3 blocks from the downtown area. Nashville Yards, if you know about that development, that's going to be in walking distance. You've got your Whole Foods. There's a Chick-fil-A going in addition to all the restaurants and bars along the street that already exist. So we're super excited about this location and both what it has currently and the potential that it's got to grow in the future. Shante, let's introduce him to the contralto.
Good morning, everybody. All right, so just to piggyback on Robbie a little bit, so the building itself will be about, it will be 7 stories. There'll be 52 units available with 2 commercial spaces. There'll be a really cool rooftop terrace that has some really spectacular views of downtown Nashville. We'll also have a club room that will be available up there. I'm thinking it will feature some amenities, really cool amenities that you'll have for some kitchenette areas and stuff in the club area that you'll have some really nice meeting spaces or a gathering space in that club room. There'll be a fitness center. Also, as you can see on the rendering here, the courtyard is really, really nice with some really unique lighting and decor. So all of your corridor spaces will be really open, airy, and bright. So when we know, won't be dark. It'll be really nice and airy, fun and inviting in the courtyard area there. And also, what else did I leave out in terms of the building? I think that's it. Did I say the fitness center? I think that's right.
And the fitness center is awesome. It's on the top floor with like walls of glass that look west. So when your guests do come to stay in the city, obviously having that convenience factor is huge.
Awesome. So really cool. We're super excited. Danielle's going to talk to you a little bit about the programs.
Alright, so 52 units. We're ranging anywhere from studios that are 520 square feet. We have 1 bedrooms that are anywhere from 700 to 800 square feet, and then we have 2 penthouse units on the top floor that are 2 bedrooms, 2 baths that are a little bit over 1,000 square feet. So those prices are going to range from $249 to $574, and we are working with or partnering with a short-term rental management company called Playlist. They're local here in Nashville, and so they have actually taken every single unit in the building and have given us estimates of what your short-term rental gross revenue would be. And then that includes their fee, which is 20%. If you own more than 5 units in the building, you can have a deduction, or I think it actually starts at 3 units, and then it goes down from 20, I think, to 17 in a condo building. So we think that this will go pretty quickly. It is concrete build, so it's going to take about 16 to 18 months. So we're looking at being completed in 2020. That's estimated completion date. So, yeah, we've already got some contracts, and we're trying to get Village to bring all their buyers first before we release it out to everybody else. So contact us for more information, and let us know if you have any buyers that want to set up a presentation.
Good job. Right here on Lively Church Street. And not to be outdone, we have David Binkley and Dallin coming up to talk to us about another development. And this is going to be a total surprise to me. I want to see which one you guys are talking about.
All right, so piggybacking off of the condo Airbnbs, Dallin Hudson and I are going to be selling this beautiful building that is in the 2100 block. Don't laugh, it gets better.
And it's finished.
Yeah, it's finished. You don't have to wait a couple years. So this is in the 2100 block of kind of the Charlotte corridor off of Clifton. As you can tell, it's really old. It was built, we're still trying to figure out the date, and we're pretty sure that it was built in 1865. It is an 8-brick thick tobacco barn, and it has incredible amount of history to it. Tobacco barn. So we're going to have 46 units in there, and they are all going to be Airbnb eligible. This is going to compare to Worthing Lofts, except we are doing very, very high-end finishes, comparable to kind of like a 12 South new build, except it's going to be in a condo. It's going to be very industrial, trend forward, and before we get into the unit breakdown, Dallyn's going to let you know prices, bedrooms, baths. I just want to showcase the building a little bit. As you can see, you've got the 8-brick thick walls. If you look closely in the trusses, you can see Roman numerals in it, where they labeled the tobacco that hung in there.
There you have it. The Romans built it.
The building is full of graffiti. So if you have someone that wants to keep that, you have the option of keeping it, or we can sandblast it out. You wouldn't know it was there. But it's a super cool building. These will be ready, I think, what, July? Year from right now, maybe a little bit sooner. That they're already in there plugging away and working, and we haven't released the sales date, but it'll be a little bit quicker turnaround than what you are accustomed to with the pre-sale, because they're in there doing it right now. Down?
So they're actually already completely framed out. I met with the developer yesterday, so we are rocking and rolling. But it's going to be 6 different floor plans, just depending on where you are in the building. A variation of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom units. The top floor is going to have 6 units. Each corner will be a 3-bedroom unit, and in between will be a 2-bedroom unit, and those are going to range anywhere from the mid-5s to the low 6s. The 1-bedroom units will be around 700 square feet, and they'll be around the low 3s right now is what we're thinking. And there's going to be a new building. If you look at the building, it'll be the back right. It's going to be 10 units, and that'll be all new construction. But the developer he said something like 1 million bricks from this era that he's building that building with. So it'll look just like the old building. It's 610 21st Avenue.
Real on top of it. And this is technically being called the 1865 building. We want to firm up the date, but we have our logo work done, and Del Vonte Creative is helping us on that, who did 1212. As you can see, kind of peeking through those windows, the top floor does have a downtown view, and this is true. I mean, if you can't already tell, there's going to be nothing like this in town. This is a very unique and iconic building. We're super excited to be a part of it, and really looking forward to unveiling sales opportunities, and be sure to let you guys know. Yes? We do. I forget the name of the company. They're out of Texas. They're going to be assessing what it would rent for in an Airbnb situation. So they're going to be in town. We're meeting with them this week. So the name of the game of selling these Airbnbs is being able to understand the numbers and the rents and being able to express that into a cap rate. And I mean, anybody that has the money ready to go for a 20 to 30% down payment their jaw's gonna drop at these cap rates. It's something that's really exciting. Yes.
But then what about parking?
So typically with any condo building, it's 1.5 parking spots per bedroom. So that's what we have.
I'll be selling half cars later.
Yeah. Yes.
Will they be assigned? Will they be?
We haven't determined that. Because it is going to be geared towards Airbnb, a lot of these people are going to be taking advantage of Uber from the airport, scooters, transit, that type of thing. There's speculation of some greenway coming in behind it, and it would be walkable to that, which would connect Nations into Germantown. That's not for certain, and that's very speculative, but good to know. And
we've got approval for feasibility studies now.
All right, you heard it from Mark.
Greenway Whisperer right there.
He whispered that to me. It kind of slipped. I didn't know if I was supposed to talk about that or not. But thank you very much. And Dallin and I will have more details, and hopefully we'll be circling back and giving you guys updates when we will start doing sales. Thank you.
Hey, wait. Dallin just joined us a little while ago, and I wanted to give you the mic for a second just to say a little bit about where you came from and what you're doing with the team.
Yeah. So I came from Silver Point Properties, which is actually where he came from, which is kind of funny. But I work mainly with developers, and I find properties like this to redo or land to rebuild. So if y'all have anybody if y'all find land and y'all don't have somebody to throw it to, unless it's him, of course, send it my way, and I feel like I got somebody for it. But yeah, so thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you find this property and connect it with a developer? Oh, that's great. That's great. All right. Thanks, guys. So I think you also mentioned this is short-term rental eligible too, Airbnb. So
right.
I don't know, guys. I'm really excited about the amount of short-term rental properties that we are offering here at Village. I would suggest that we probably have more that we're offering at this brokerage than anywhere else in town. Fair statement?
Very true.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. All right, so let's do some coming soons. In Virginia, I think you're up next. You've been waiting patiently. Now, is this your property? So it has a lot of love in this home, I hear. All right.
Yes, this is my home. It's down the street. It's at 2402 Oakland Avenue, and it is a true little Belmont gem. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 28 square feet. It's been renovated. It was in the 500 Bungalows book. It's got a wonderful covered front and back porches, stainless, granite, oak hardwoods throughout the home. Lots of living area options. You could even potentially have a 5th bedroom. Huge master suite. We have replaced the air conditioning units. We've put in a new water heater, painted the exterior. We've got some replacement windows. It's got a full walkout basement, so lots of storage space and a landscape yard. It's a gorgeous street. And we are downsizing. Right sizing. Yes, premium item.
I love it. I love it. So what neighborhood are you moving to, Virginia? Edgehill. Okay. All right. Because inquiring minds want to know where the cool people are living now. You're abandoning Belmont, for crying out loud. All right, Jaquise. Back there in the back. I walked the wrong way. Here I come.
Good morning. This one is 2517 Somerset Drive. It's in the Nashville Youth Community back to market. We took it off of the market last month for the seller to make some much needed repairs, and so they've done that, and we're headed back to market on Sunday. A little over 2,000 square feet, large master downstairs, has a fireplace in the master, dual wood burning fireplace in the living room, 2 large bedrooms upstairs, large deck, community pool, sunroom. So we're headed back to the market on Sunday, but anybody who wants to see it in advance, I can probably pull it out.
I love it. Sounds like a sneak peek to me, right? That's right. So Tony Myers, what have you got for us in Hermitage?
We got 564 Chestnut Wood Trail in Hermitage. It's a great little community for starter homes. It's 32.5, 1910 square feet. The guy that got in here does home remodeling for his company, and so he did some new countertops, saved all the cherry hardwood cabinets that they had, put in new hardwoods on the floors. It's absolutely gorgeous. Coming in at $283.
Awesome, great. And Megan Manley. Oh, there we go. Hey, thanks. So you got two for us in 06, right?
Good morning. I have two both with amazing walkability. One is a condo at East End Lofts. It's a one-bedroom. It's a couple blocks from Five Points, around the corner from Shops and Fatherland, and down the street from East Park and Church. Has floor-to-ceiling windows and open layout, spacious master, and downtown views from the balcony. And that one's $230. It just went on. And 2100 Eastland Avenue is a renovated brick Victorian, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2 master suites. It's over 2,800 square feet, a nearly half-acre lot, which is unusual for the neighborhood. And it is walking distance Commodore East, Terminal, 210 Jack, everything over there. That'll be around $675.
Awesome. So East End Lofts, I love that. And that's third floor, East End Lofts? What are the views like from the third floor there? Really? That's great. I think that's the one. Isn't that the mail room downstairs where they have those 2 L-shaped Trevor pieces in the mail room? Yeah. That's amazing. All right. So, of course, one of my favorites, Mary Frances, come on up. You've waited so patiently. And I know you have a big team to introduce today.
I do.
Yeah. You mean to hold the microphone? You look like you have some equipment.
Well, I do have 2 things to pull out and to share. I'm bragging. I'll just go ahead and tell you right now that you hold that for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
And this.
I'm Vanna.
So we won again. The top producer, not only in this Nashville area and Middle Tennessee, but for the state of Tennessee. And that is for Fidelity National. You may not realize there's several different underwriters or title insurance underwriters, but Fidelity is the largest in the state. So we pretty well know we're the largest. Not only we knew from the Register of Deeds has told us that we do more transactions than any other title company in town or an attorney. So just to know. But as I tell many of you, the reason that I can say that I'm successful is because I hired very well. And I have a great group of people. And many times when I come to closing, I'll have somebody say, well, I used to have Lloyd did all my closings. He was the person I worked with. Well, as you may have heard me say, little do you know that Lloyd and I and the closers, we grab the file and come down. And many times, we've never even looked at what's going on. But we've got a whole group of other people that are very, very important. So I want you to start and flash with us now. As I'm talking to you, I want you to meet some of our staff, because you call up and you get a person on the phone, but you never put a face to the person. So I want you just to see, and these are arranged by teams.
Hey, feel free to applaud if your favorite pops up.
But I also, as she's showing this, I want to take you back, because when I started up my company almost 20 years ago, I had been working in another title company, and I started up with lenders. And then suddenly, the interest rates dropped, and I had no clients. I had one realtor, is about all. And so I went back to people that I had worked with on Chambers. And so John and Earl Susalis, if you remember those two, some of you old timers, they introduced me to Mark. And that was probably about 15 years ago. And I just want to tell you what a wonderful friendship that we've had, and a wonderful relationship with all of you. and our client has a goat farm. And so he brought goats to the closing. And that was one of our biggest hits that day, was everybody. Thelma and Louise, they were twin goats. And their mama had kind of abandoned them. And so he was feeding them every 2 and 3 hours. But anyway, I really want you to know that how much I appreciate all of you all. And with when I hear a new agent talking about coming to get into the real estate business, Village is the top of my list of telling them who to come and check out.
Are you wearing the same dress today?
How many more we got?
No, it's a different dress.
Well, I got to tell you what was funny is when we started doing the pictures, there were a few of them that were kind of lingering and not getting their pictures in. And so several of the staff provided pictures of the other members that they wanted us to show. So it was, a lot of them were X-rated, I'll just tell you. We don't let spouses, children, we limit it to no others. But I do really have a great group. I've got 6 attorneys. I've got 3 people that are currently in law school. And just want you to know there is a whole team back there that really take your files and your things very, very serious. And if you ever have a question, we have our phone numbers, cell numbers, and all out there for you to call us. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, there's Kate over there on the side. You guys may have met her at another. Kate, have you been here before?
I have.
Yeah, you were introduced at one meeting earlier in the month. I remember that. So Kate is the only other live version of somebody that you saw from Rudy here. But of course, all these people work down at Rudy. And just because I have the experience of having been on both sides of the fence with these teams, by the way, they're the staff. I know you got it. Just let it sink in. Let it sink in, yeah. So there's about 37 employees down there now, 38, which is about the same size as the Village staff here without the agents. So the companies are pretty comparable from a staffing perspective, and I think that's pretty interesting. So after we get through those, let's see, what do we have next? Angela, we've got a little new construction to talk about. Yeah.
And I want to thank I want to thank Rudy Title because they have been coming to Franklin a lot for closing. So if you have a closing happening in Williamson County area, they come to our Franklin office and do closings, which is awesome. Y'all been booking a lot there lately. Today I'm going to talk about home inspections with new construction. When I worked on site, I know agents did not recommend to their buyers to do a lot of home inspections with new construction. And I was one of these, and I was an agent that sold this, but a lot of people do not think you need to do a home inspection with new construction because they go through permitting and codes and inspections all through the construction process. But just know that these are still man-made homes, and they still can miss things, and things can still slip through the cracks. So I highly suggest that you suggest to your buyers that they get a home inspection. They have 2 walkthroughs typically at the end of construction. You typically have your first walkthrough where you walk through and kind of pick apart the house and say, oh, this needs a paint touch-up, there's a nail pop. Well, it's hard to see below the surface. So to get a home inspector in there, this is really your buyer's last chance before they get turned over to warranty to tell the things that they want fixed on their home. Because they might get stuck with some of these things when they go to resell their home, when they could have been fixed on the front end with the builder. So please, I highly suggest that you get home inspections with your, or suggest to your buyers to get a home inspection with your new construction. Because you can even do, I know on resales, you always talk about don't come back to us with caulking and things like this. Well, on new construction, you can do that. anything that's on that inspector's list, I would suggest you telling the builder, and it's awesome to, you always have to ask the builder when they can get in to do the home inspection. I highly suggest it's right before your walkthrough, so you can go to the walkthrough with that list. And have everything, because you're going to sign off on a list and you're not going to be able to add things after that. So I highly suggest you get your, and I know from being on site that there aren't a lot of home inspections on new home construction. But since we're village, we suggest that, right? Okay. Who's next? Oh, do you have a question? I'm
Here,
sorry.
Just an addition. No.
Yeah.
On many times these builder contracts and the standard state contract, you're going to want to specifically stipulate the 2 walkthrough process and a professional home inspection. It is likely not going to be in the builder contract. So you need to stipulate, I'll put the language that we've drafted and used in the village exclusive about the 2 walk process, and what does that mean? You need to clearly stipulate the first walkthrough is for cosmetic purposes, and that you will walk with a builder representative present to blue tape or tape the house. I'd recommend using a 3-color tab system versus blue tape. Start getting in the habit of keeping little dots with red is for something material, blue is for paint, and green is for drywall. And there's a couple of those things, so you know what you're looking at coming back through. But I'll post that language, but make sure you are specific. Don't assume a walkthrough what that means and what they're willing to do. And don't assume because it passed codes, that means anything. And get a specialty HVAC inspection.
Angela, because you are the new home sales rep, how do you feel about these kind of buyer's agents?
Well, when I was on the new home sales, I didn't mind it. My builders did. But I really, when he was talking about taking pictures, that's very important to take. They take those stickers off. And you don't know if the painter's going to get in there first, or the HVAC guy, or the electrician, or whoever. So it's really important to take those pictures, because those blue tapes, red tapes, green tapes, whatever they are going to be gone when you come back to that final walkthrough. And make detailed notes, because they'll have a list that they sign off on, but they may not catch everything, because they're just taking notes of what they think they have to remember or whatever. It's very important.
Construction. Bobby and I taught one as well, but I highly recommend it. This is how you add value. A lot of people buying new construction figure, they're buying a new car, and the percentage of new construction sold without an agent is double, if not more, from resale. And so you could be doing blog posts and video posts of how you add value, even as a 2-day-old agent, because you know this information or have gone and taken a class on how to properly represent a buyer in new construction and the value that you provide.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Angela. Okay, reminder, we're going to have a V-Talk afterwards, the Vaudeville Village Talk, and I'd like to introduce our guest, Jacob West.
Jacob!
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm going to be helping Mark teach everyone here how to juggle. It's not as complicated as you think it might seem. I'll demonstrate a little bit up here to give you a little bit of a taste of that. A lot of times you think, oh, raise your hand if you see someone juggle and said to yourself, say, oh no, I can't do it. But that's the story you're telling. I can't catch. I can't catch. You just kept telling me that as she walked up. So clearly, either people have been telling her she couldn't catch, maybe society and what she thinks she can do, and then she starts telling herself that. Then she starts telling other people about herself. And the process of learning can help you be better at catching yourself when you hear yourself saying, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that, for anything. And so if you're struggling with trying to learn 3-ball juggling, there's a lot you can do before that. And I'll show you, put this down. Then you see tricks like then you're like with 2 balls that feels the same way. And once you get comfortable with that, it's, again, going back. You don't start by selling the fanciest tricks right away. There's a lot you can learn with 2 balls, and then that trick you saw, right? It doesn't look too much different. There's a problem, which doesn't matter. Again, I'm trying to demonstrate 2 balls, and I'll teach you some of those skills and drills that you can use to get even better to learning 3 balls, so it doesn't seem as hard when you try that. So we'll be doing some practice down in the lobby area, and look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you. All right, we're having another walk on the Greenway. We're going to walk the Urban Greenway. We're going to meet at Vaughn Elrod, which is right next to First Tennessee neighborhoods that exist along the Greenway and Cumberland River. Also, thanks for everybody who's done a Duck Out with Lloyd. Really good talks with people who've signed up, and you can sign up with Kenya downstairs. What's next, Lloyd?
Yeah, we have a little. Oh, I'm sorry, Randy. That's right. Doggone it, Randy. Where are you? Come on down. I know. Especially dressed up for this and everything.
So, how many of you guys need to double down on your skills for listing presentations and buyers and interviews, and maybe on how doing all your visits and coffees and notes? Well, listen, Clubs is the place on an accountability promise with your co-members and get this stuff done. A club situation does 2 things. It makes you be accountable, make the appropriate number of calls so that you can keep your pipeline full, to uncover leads so that you can keep your pipeline full, to do open houses, at least 2 useful 1 hour of your time per week. Right? Da-da-da-da. It's like the first thing. And I wonder, actually, if I could get you to swap of clubs. Can I get it in there? As long as it's easier, right? You'll get it in here. Sure. So take pins. How important is it for you to...
You came over here because I'm sitting here thinking that I can't endorse the club platform and into some best practices and top producers across the country, and all of them, even producing at 120 million, have coaches and accountability partners. When you're doing 120 million, you want to find better ways to run your business and be accountable to each other to do the things that we don't want to do, or find better ways to do them. Getting 20 calls made in a day is difficult when you get busy, and you're either busy being busy or you're busy or whatever are so fundamental. But I can't endorse the club thing, even if you're doing 20 million.
So, I'll ask David Higley too. So, how important is it to remain ready to give consciousness?
You got to stay in it every day, and that knows what you're doing and what you're up to, and asking, or you just.
Okay, can you go to your browser? And we can go to .villagetn. This amazingly gifted and adaptive reader. Hey. Okay, so I see Katie Watley signed. Katie, are you here? She gave me a pass.
She's in the delivery room right here.
Oh, really?
No, I made it up. She's ready.
She is ready. In fact, she gets induced on Thursday if it doesn't happen sooner.
That's right.
Okay, that'll probably work too.
This up, and I'm just going to speak loudly so you can hold the mic. When we have people that are.
I'm going to meet you when you see this and you see how simple it is. The only thing that remains left for you, I call it the fishbowl. I don't know what it's called.
Bell meeting.
Bell meeting. And I'll set up with a laptop, and all you do is start a group and bring others to your end. And then very, very important next step, if you can make it, is tomorrow. Collaboratives happens the second Wednesday. Opportunity to see what the curriculum is that lies ahead. When you so how do we go?
Fantastic question.
Yeah, I think that's got to be a tutorial video that's going to have that component where you're going to see the club's offering right here. Okay.
Yeah. It's 10 weeks over an 11-week period, meaning that the week of Thanksgiving last term until the new year. So use this time to load in their pipeline. That's the only reason in the fishbowl here right after the meeting. Okay.
Yep. You can also email Randy. So and you can find his email. Do we still have it on the screen? No. How many people have ever said this? There are 5 people. Is that it? That is in years. and I would see somebody pop in, and I would say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What happened? Well, I kind of got distracted. Hopefully the clubs is going to help be an accountability partner for you. It's completely a lot, 1,000 partners in clubs. So, Bobby, come on up 52.
Exceeded our ability to sit.
Listings. So how many village on villages?
I sold a property 2 weeks.
Oh, that's everybody.
Is that Mark? 25?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, how many? Okay.
What do we got for calendar?
The calendar. It's your birthday. Whoa. Wow, this is such a shame. Well, we have to hurry so we can go to...
We all know it. But one of the things I do is always do us a favor by singing fast, okay? So you're going to sing with me. Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday. And you were celebrating the anniversary of your 30th.
I'm really proud.
Yeah?
I am
Well,
proud.
tell the crew.
On Saturday, will be 70. Our whole family is here for all these last years. I love you. You know I'm going to have the best retirement ever.
Plan.
I love you. I love Village. And I'm so, so, so.
Deserves. Happy 70th. So we downstairs so that you can have your cake and juggling going on downstairs today. That's at 10:30 a.m. And then Collaborative is coming up Wednesday, September 12th. That's this Wednesday, 9 a.m. So that's going to be here at Hillsborough Village. And that's, as Randy mentioned, that dovetails well with clubs. This is the group accountability. 11 a.m. for that guy. So that's going to be the 20th. We've got orientation. All of you folks that are here for you get to see Bobby and Vaughn. Vaughn, where are you? Right over there. They're both going to be doing. We're going to have our next jump start. So that's down and dirty for you folks who have just joined. Is that it for calendar?
That's it.
All right, that's your 51 minutes downstairs to jump. Let's give Mark a round of applause. All right.